Hello and welcome to the Sands of Time review channel. It is your host, Sammy Thunder. I'm back at it once again with another one of my Watch Express episodes, and today I'm actually going to talk about a very quirky watch from the Omega brand. I'm talking about the Speedmaster Marstimer X33 for the fourth time. It has been reissued, and this is a watch not many people will know of. It is a pretty bizarre watch, but it's cool, and it's very utilitarian in nature. I mean, this watch here is a tool watch, in essence, developed by Omega in collaboration with the European Space Agency, or ESA. It's pretty much, in terms of construction, is grade 2 titanium, so it's going to be very light, and it comes with a full brushed kind of texture. So even the parts that look polished, it's actually very fine brushing, and you can kind of see the differences in the finishing to kind of exemplify that. So it is a very nice looking watch. It's great. Of course, with Omega you're getting Omega quality, and essentially it's a watch made to be used by, let's say, an astronaut on Mars, someone that's actually using or controlling the rover, and want to kind of convert the times back into, let's say, Earth time, in different time zones on Earth. So this watch actually has 3 time zones in Mars, and obviously in Mars the days are slightly longer by, as stated in the article, 2.7% longer days on Mars, and it features certain functionality like mission elapsed time, phase elapsed time, things that you would see in these kind of space missions. In terms of technical specs, I mean, it features a 24 month battery life. In my opinion, I do think if this is going to be used on space, I think trying to up that battery life greater than 2 years, assuming that this is all just hypothetical speculation. Let's say it takes 7 months to actually get to Mars with our current technology. If you kind of factor that stuff in, I think it's sufficient. But it is on the cuff of things. But yeah, trying to up that battery life would be good. But this watch is providing a lot of features already. It's like a G-Shock on steroids, developed by the Omega brand. So it's taking it to a luxurious level, and also knowing Omega and their tie into space, you're getting something very cool and collectible and quirky. And this isn't a watch that will just hit every single boutique, and they won't be able to sell it, because a classic watch, I believe, was the CK859, which was kind of like a sectory dial, or just a nice clean dress watch, that got discontinued within 4 months of release, I believe. And this watch here, from my understanding, they've sent one in the Omega boutique, just one of these watches allocated to the Omega boutiques, all in Melbourne, as an example. So it is going to be a collectible. I do think it can be a bit ridiculous of a watch. I mean, at the end of the day, you're spending 9,750 Aussies, but it's a cool, quirky watch, utilitarian, a cool looking Speedmaster. Mars time, Earth and Earth time zones, Mars time zones. It's very easy to know. Aluminium bezel, brown. The seconds hand really does kind of, pop with the, if you look carefully, goes from a black to this brown. You got the luminescence. It's kind of cool. The finishing is great, but yes, at times it can appear to be a ridiculous watch. And not many people will get it, and that's why I think it's a pretty cool watch to kind of get, really, because not many people would be on the radar for something like this, in my opinion. And you can see here it's able to track multiple time zones and dates in Earth, Mars. It has this cool thing, so it will be able to tell. It has a compass feature, so it would be able to tell you Earth magnetic north, and it has a solar compass which is used to find true north in both Mars and Earth. I mean, it's pretty cool, but like, it is a ridiculous watch. But look, all watches at the end of the day, all luxury watches kind of can understand people try to justify mechanical watches even at 30,000 to 40,000 Australian dollars with, a Lange, Breguet, or the level of finishing and the mechanical movement, level of detail, etc. We can understand that. But at the end of the day, you are spending unreasonable money regardless of anything. And at the end of the day, it's all about how much money you're willing to spend on the aesthetic. I mean, you're going to look at the dial of the watch most of the time, not really the movement. It's cool to know that there's cool things with mechanical, but something like this, a lot of people are snobby within the hobby and they might not appreciate quartz. But I've earned one of the most highly accurate quartz movements in the world. Something like this is pretty cool for me. I'm not going to be calling this a shit watch, a waste of money. I think it's cool. I genuinely think it's a cool watch, and that's how I feel about it. I mean, maybe the other people will say this is a waste of money. It's a nice watch, thermally compensated quartz movement, high accuracy quartz with all this added functionality. That's actually going to be used by people, qualified people in the, that are going on these Mars missions, critical missions, right? And yeah, they get to wear one of these cool watches and they get to make history with it. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know what they actually wear and what they actually do, whether it's marketing jargon or not. All I know, it's a pretty damn cool watch. It's an Omega, and I think at least the way they've marketed this watch, I think it's a little bit smart of them. They're not just dumping a whole bunch of watches to boutiques and that just sits there. I believe at least in Australia they're one watch allocated, and there'll be someone who's really into this kind of stuff, and it'll go to the rightful collector or the rightful person who wants this watch. But these are my thoughts on the Omega Speedmaster X33 Marstimer. I mean, you can get the older versions if you can for a much cheaper price, but let me know what your thoughts are on this watch here, right? And thanks for watching Sands of Time. Peace.